Today, we're going to be building our own full stack AI agent using LangGraph as backend and React Native as the frontend. And it will be powered with the Gemini API. And this template that we're going to be using is directly dropped by Google and is completely open source. But before starting the video, I want to talk about how the AI agent is going to work. So whenever the end user asks a question, it's going to generate queries and then do some web searching because it has the web search capabilities with it. And after reflection, it's going to do more research if needed, and this cycle keeps on iterating until the results of the reflection is sufficient. And when the context is sufficient, it's going to generate an answer and then deliver the answer to the user. This is a really detailed backend template that is built for you, and you just have to change it according to your need. And they're going to give you this front end as well. So without further ado, let's get started with the video. Hi and welcome back to SkillCurb. This is your host Shamresh, and we're finally getting started with this video. So first things first, we will have to clone this. So I'm just going to go ahead, copy this and open up my terminal. Make sure you open up the folder where you want to clone this, and then just say git clone and paste in the URL, and at the end enter a period. What this would do is it would clone everything inside the current folder. So there you go, the cloning was successful, and now you can open this up inside any of your preferred IDE. But before talking about how we can set this up, let's talk about some of the prerequisites. So we're going to need Node.js and npm installed. For that, you can just go to this website here if you do not have Node.js already installed, and you can download the latest Node.js from right here according to your operating system. The second prerequisite is Python. You need to have Python 3.8 or later versions, and for that you can go to python.org and download and install it. The last thing we're going to need is a Gemini API key. For that, you can go to the aistudio.google.com and you can generate a free API key by just clicking here and get a key. And once you have these prerequisites, we can actually move forward with this project. But let's talk about the features of this project. So this project is going to be a full stack application with React frontend and LangGraph backend. It's going to be powered by LangGraph agent for advanced research and conversational AI, and it's going to have dynamic search query generation using Google Gemini model, which is really great. And it's going to have integrated web search via Google Search API. Then it's going to have reflective reasoning, which is actually the best part about this, because this reflective reasoning is going to determine the quality of the output. It's going to keep on iterating and reflecting until and unless the context is sufficient, and then generate the answer. This is the best part here. And the answers will have citation from the gathered sources, and it's going to have a hot reloading for both front end and back end. We have talked enough theory. Let's get started with the setting up of this AI agent. So I have the clone project right here. I'm going to spin up two terminals here. One is going to be for the back end and one is going to be for the front end. So I'm just going to go ahead and split the terminals by clicking here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to navigate. Let me zoom out a bit. Okay, so here I'm going to do cd front end, and here I'm going to do cd back end, because we're going to install the dependencies for each of them separately. So for the front end, we're going to do npm install because the front end is in React.js. So it's going to need npm to install all the dependencies. But for the backend, because it is in LangGraph, we're going to use pip install, and we're going to add a dot or a period at the end and hit enter. Now this way, we're going to be installing all the dependencies or the requirements that we have for backend and frontend. And once this is installed, we can move forward with the next step of setting this up. So once you're done installing all the requirements and the packages, what you need to do is you need to go to the backend folder right over here. And here you just have to copy this and create a new file right here inside the backend folder and name it .env. And here we're going to paste this, remove the hash, which will uncomment this, and we're going to need to paste in the API key right here. And for the API key, we're going to go to Google's AI Studio and create a new API key by just clicking here. I'm going to be pasting in all the URLs in the video description, so don't worry about it. And once you have your API key, just copy this back here inside your env file, just paste that right here, save that file, and that's all you have to do. So once you're done getting your API key, what you need to do is you need to spin up the front end and the backend servers. And we're going to be spinning up the front end separately and the backend separately. So for the front end, we're going to use npm run dev because The front end is built using React, and there you go. You can see that the front end is working. So if I go and follow this URL, you can see we have this nice looking UI with the models here, as well as this option to check out whether we want to have low, medium, or high filter. But now let's go ahead and spin up the backend server. For that, you will just have to say LangGraph dev, and it will spin up your LangGraph server. And this is the command you will need to use, LangGraph dev. It will spin up this server where you can see we're using LangSmith. And once you submit this, it's going to start running this model that we saw at the start of this video. And then we can actually go ahead and use this. So I'm just going to go ahead and say, who is Trump? A very, very simple question here. And just hit enter. You can choose whichever model you want to go with. I'm going to go with 2.5 Flash because that's the fastest, and hit search. As soon as you do that, it's going to start processing. The front end is not perfect. It's going to take some time, and you're going to see results here. So you can see that the research is on way. It's doing web research, and it scraped 56 sources related to Donald Trump, and then it's going to keep on reflecting on it, and at the end generate the output for us. Although the process is not visible here because of the front-end UI, but we can fix that up later on. And if you want to customize this agent according to your own specific need, you can go ahead and do that. So let's wait for the results, and then we can talk about the future plan. So there you go, we have the results. So Donald John Trump was born on June 14th, 1946 in Queens, New York City. And you can see all the citations here as well. So this is quite a detailed answer right over here. So this means that our backend and our front end is working. I can go ahead and copy this by just clicking here and paste that anywhere I want to. So this was how easy it was to actually set up your own customized full stack AI agent using Gemini, React, and LangGraph as backend. And you can see it's working completely fine for us. And all of this was completely free and open source. The API used was free, and the whole template is free. Now, for future plans, what you can do is you can customize and edit the code according to your own personal needs and customize this agent for yourself. And as it is completely open source, you do not need to have any commercial license to actually push this into production. And if you scroll all the way down on their GitHub repo, you can see that they have a deployment guide for you as well, where you can actually push this on a production server via Docker image, which is really great. But before going, I want to encourage you guys to actually try this out. And to be quite honest, this is a really complex yet powerful AI agent template that Google just dropped for us. And by far, this is a treat for all the developers out there. So go ahead, try this out, and let me know in the comments what you think about this new agent. With that said, let's wrap this video up. If you found this video insightful, hit that like button, share your thoughts or experiences in the comments below. Ring that notification bell to never miss out on our daily updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Till then, stay curious and keep exploring.